Hello, it is Darrell with TWE brand. Alright, so I'm really excited right now because I'm going to be embarking on a very fun journey, which is goal planning. I've been talking about this for the past week or so, and finally I am ready to get started. Right now I'm on Visme, and it's a website that it's like Canva, but instead of social media content and all the marketing materials that you can create, this is for like business documents, process documents, workflow documents, teaching documents. So I know that Canva is really awesome. They could create like different types of like flow charts and decision trees. But this one, Visme, is faster and is much more compatible with what you're trying to do when it comes to like flow charts and stuff like that. So I'm on here. I had created a kind of a roadmap of my marketing, and that's kind of how I figured out how to go to electronics as the keyword that I want to dominate and have a hostile takeover with. But now that website that I was using, it was so slow. Like I had to drag and drop everything, and it was very, very slow. This website's super fast, it's free, and it saves all this stuff in one area. And right before I did that, I had to try to find that website, that slow website, right? And I ended up, I don't even know the name of it. I don't even know how I got it, but I was trying to open up like some previous bookmarks, and I couldn't find those bookmarks. So I ended up, while searching up these bookmarks, I organized every single bookmark that I had previously. Because I first looked at all this stuff and I'm like, bro, I don't want to refile this stuff. This will take forever. But then I started filing it, and I deleted all the websites that I thought that I would need a bookmark for, but I could just type it into my Norton Safe Search and it would just pull it up, and then I could just log in. So I don't have those on there anymore. And I deleted all I need to remember this blog post or this research page. I deleted all that. And I just have a section for my dashboards, all the dashboards that I know that I'm going to be needing right now or in the near future. And then I have a bookmark category for my brand, so TWE brand, right? I have like everything that I know that I need when it comes to like no matter what I'm going to be doing, like all the changes that I'm going to make, these different types of bookmarks that I have here, I'm at some point while trying to create some value for you guys, am going to be using these websites regardless. And when it comes to my development and my time management, my leadership, those are already on there too. And then lastly, I have like a category for all the pages that I know I need for like my lifestyle when it comes to keeping the ball rolling outside of my brand or like the places that I know that I'm going to need to log in. So like I have like my job application bookmarks on my healthcare, right? Bookmarks on like phone and internet, things that have to do with that, etc. So I have all those in one section. So I only have 3 categories, and it was super easy to make. It didn't take that long. It took about an hour and a half. And then I finally found the section because I downloaded some bookmarks, and I finally found the area where it has all the like the flowchart makers and the icon makers and all this other stuff. And I'm like, all right, which one could I'm gonna just use a new one. I'm not gonna try to find an old one. And I ended up finding this one, Visme, and now we're ready to go. So I didn't know that there was a website out there that made it super easy for me to create these type of things. But now that I have this there, it's time to make my goals like come into fruition. Like they even have like like timeline like editors that I can create. You know, so like for example, for ClickUp, right, my project management software, that one allows me to connect the tasks that I want on a visual platform, kind of like these flowcharts that I'm creating. But the reason why this one is better is because one, it's more visual. Because when you start off with a blank template on ClickUp, it's difficult to like get the header, the sidebar, and the footer bar out the way, so you can even see the tasks that you have, right? So if you have a million tasks, like you won't be able to see anything because it'll be too jumbled together on the computer screen, and that's a problem. On Visme, now I can just have the major ideas and the dates, and then if I need to, I can create a different like flowchart process for each section, and then if I need to, I can just put it onto my project management software, and then that can update me, or I can put it on my calendar, and then that can update me. It's actually great because I can just download these documents as like PDFs or whatever, and then I can just put it on my calendar where I have my weekly meeting, and then I'll be able to see which processes have I created, which goal workflows have I created, etc. So I got my coffee. Before all that, I woke up. I made sure that I cleaned up my area and stuff, and I swept the floors and stuff, took out the trash, washed the dishes, all that stuff, and I'm trying to find a new way of eating. Right now, my eating process is a little bit different from most people's, and I'm trying to get myself to eat at least just once a day, and that's going to be a challenge for me, but I really want that to occur because once I can get it on a specific time during each day and reduce my drinking consumption, like not alcohol, but like how much water I intake or how much coffee I intake, right? If I can, or how much tea, orange juice, or apple juice, because I like those. If I can regulate those things towards like a certain amount, and I can hit that every single day, and I have that separate from, like, for example, the amount of work that I do per day, or the amount of stress that I have to manage per day, or the amount of gathering of myself that I have to do per day. If I can separate those from this, if I can separate those two sections, then my discipline is going to take myself to the next level, right? Like, you're talking to a millionaire right now, and this is what's going down. Like, if I can I'm going to make that happen. Like, there's no if. When that happens, I'm going to take everything else to the next level. So that's what I'm trying to do. Because I already created, like, I already learned how to memorize stuff, right? So you guys know that I memorize stuff, right? And just to keep myself going, like, I downloaded some books on, like, self-healing and, like, how to stop coping, start living, how to not get down on myself, and how to like manage my own energy, like not in the ookie spooky kind of way, as one of my good friends used to say, but like in a like legit, like, how do I manage my energy? So so that, like, when I'm like achieving all these other things in my life, like either spiritually or like in my relationships or like the food, like I'm talking about now, like I'll be able to like deal with these challenges and stuff much more readily each day, because I'll be able to use techniques to heal myself each day. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be the next level. It's the next level, guys. It's awesome. All right, get ready for the next hostile takeover. Okay, man, I can't wait until later on this afternoon because I have been trying to push through all these different things that are going on in my head. Like the things that are going on in my head from the book that I read by David Goggins to the 13 things that mentally strong people do to the motivational videos from Les Munn and also Goggins. I've realized that they're right when it comes to the a somehow incognito negative force that always beats down on me more than all my haters combined, and it's myself. And there's levels to that type of understanding, right? It isn't like, oh, I ignored all the people say it's yourself who gets down on yourself the most. It's more like, it's kind of like taking the responsibility of no excuses of all the things that happen in your life that has led you to the point that you are in your life. Because when you first start on that path, you have to go through the periods of placing the blame on everybody else. You have to go through the stage of placing the responsibility of who's doing what wrong to you to the people who deserve it. And you also have to go through the period of looking squarely at the circumstances that you're in and the things that people have done to you that is, either made you fail, made you make mistakes, took away your resources, your support, all that stuff. Like, you have to call it into existence. You have to go through that stage too. And I feel like that stage is the biggest part for me that I've spent a lot of time on. Because I strongly believe that if I can't, let me put it this way. If I take responsibility for the actions that other people have taken that have caused me to fail, that will make me delusional. And I don't want to be delusional at all when it comes to my failings. A lot of the times when it comes to the negative things that happen to you that are because of other people, a lot of the motivational industry doesn't like to they like to turn what they do into make believe. Okay? They don't do it on purpose, but it's ad hoc, which means it happens even though the primary objective is to get you to take more responsibility in your life. It happens without people knowing. It's implied. And I don't like that. I've made sure to keep mindful of that kind of stuff because we as human beings, we're not alone, right? Everywhere we go, we're surrounded by other people. We may be an individual. We may have our own, our own gang, our own clique, our own community. But the reality is, even though we're individuals as we're growing, we're still stuck with others. There's no escaping it. We could go into a tunnel, right? We could do like all the billionaires have done and put ourselves into a place where there's nobody, turn off all the lights, almost like it's a cell or something, right? But the reality is, once you start going towards where you're going to go, you end up with people around you. And there's no escaping that. And to try to, like another level of delusion that happens is, things start to, it makes your decision making of of your standards with others and how you deal with conflict with others, it dilutes that as well. Because if you're taking responsibility for all the negative things that other people have done to you to make you fail and stuff like that, when it comes to the future things that you have to deal with in the arenas where you have to tell people to stop. You have to be able to tell them to go away. You have to be able to tell them that they're wrong. You have to disagree with them. You have to tell them to stop doing whatever they're doing. You can't just say that, oh, it's my responsibility and I'm going to work around it. That's one option, but eventually you're going to run into people who are not going to move. And you seem to forget that there's sociopaths out there. There's stalkers out there. There's fatal attractions out there. There's narcissists out there. There's a large group. As a community, as a species, we support narcissism. We do. We support being the line of the ideology that it's okay to try to kick someone when they're down or try to achieve something just because you can get a laugh out of it, just so you can get better at it, just so that you can win. It's in society. That's what happens. And it's like ignoring all that and saying that I accept the responsibility of what narcissists do to me, right? And in the frameworks of like not having the extra skill set to be able to confront people, to deal with resolution within conflict, to stand up for yourself by telling others to stop in a productive way. Without that skill set, you start to think that you start to think that people are innocent when they're doing things wrong to you. And that's a fucked up way of thinking, because it's very jaded. It's a very jaded way of thinking. Okay? You go around, you start putting yourself out there, you start talking to people, you start meeting people, and then all of a sudden, like, these people are fucking with you, and you end up spending a lot of time trying to come up with these different goals and different actions that you could take to maneuver around what they're doing or to somehow resist what they're doing, when you could have just told them to stop. You could have just told them to back up. You could have gotten some support in helping you getting the person to stop doing what they're doing. Okay. So it's like a self-affliction. Like you're giving yourself more pain for no reason. That's what that type of delusion of not being able to put to realize that people do fucked up things and you're going to have to fight against it. I think it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And now, in that way of thinking, I made sure that I didn't let that become a part of my belief system. I did not indoctrinate that. Screw that. Because I'm not about to sit here and believe that dogma when there's people around me who would rather see me on the streets and homeless just so they could justify that they don't want to help me. Like, I'm not going to accept that. I'm not just going to believe that they're just being good people because they got goals and they want to achieve what they want to achieve. And in and of itself, I should just relieve them of their continual bullshit, right? It's like, I'm not going to just keep putting up with someone's bullshit just because I got to take responsibility for the things that I play a part in, that are actual my parts that play in when it comes to my pain and my misery. I was never raised like that, and I don't believe that. It's like I'm not going to just let someone continuously try to ruin my life just because they are human beings and have their own rights. Okay? Just because it's their goal to achieve stuff and they're competing with me, so that means it's okay for them to just wail on me without putting my hands up. Like if you're Muhammad Ali, right, and you're in the ring and the guy that you're fighting against, he wants to, beat you up, right? Because he wants to, get the belt and get the millions of dollars and to prove himself, right? For his fans. Are you just going to just put your arms down? I mean, if you're Muhammad Ali, obviously you are, but you're not going to let him beat your ass, though. No. Like, yeah, of course you got to take the responsibility of you getting wailed on and stuff like that, getting punched and kicked and all that stuff. But no, you don't have to let them hit you. And I feel like that, I feel like a lot of I feel like the implications of like what happens in motivational speeches and stuff like that, I believe that that's what happens to people. Like there's no separation there's no separate conversation, because it's all about motivation, right? So it's all about like the responsibility. But me, I like the counselor approach. I like the psychologist approach. I like the cognitive behavioral therapy approach. I like the boundaries approach. I like that. And there's different ways that you could go about it. You can believe however you want, but that's just my opinion on it. You know what I mean? Because I want to feel motivated and I want to take more and more pain and be able to deal with stuff. But I don't want to just feel pain just so I can feel pain. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be one of those masochists. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's fun. I'm sure it's awesome. You know what I mean? But for me, I like satisfaction. I like fun. I like happiness. And I can enjoy it through the pain, but if it's necessary, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of my like research and development and motivation has always been about what's necessary and what's not. You know what I mean? Because if you remember correctly, there's a chapter in Can't Hurt Me where Goggins talks about how his health had took a turn for the worse from all the things that he was doing, and he had gained perspective about being able to take breaks, being able to know. And then in the motivational speeches that you guys all love, he does mention it, how like, for example, when his wife, like if his wife didn't support what he was doing, he made the statement in so many words that you have to be able to separate the differences of going through more pain with other people versus thinking about it clearly and knowing the difference between your wants and your goals and where you're going and the people that you have to go up against, and whether or not that pain and that route is the best route, the most necessary route. You understand? Depending on where you're going, where you're headed, and where you're at. Because if Goggins didn't have the wife at the time, right, and it was just some regular girl that he was dating for like a day or two, the response would have been different, right? It was like, no, get them out of my life, right? But it's his wife. It's a different situation. So you can't just be like, oh no, I'm gonna just ignore everything. Because as you saw, if you read the book, right? If you read the book at the beginning, that's what his dad did. That's what his dad did. And some damn not Michelangelo, but Shakespearean tragedy, right? And his dad was the opposite, right? He did the all cost. And he did it to where it damaged everything. It damaged his family. They left. It damaged his reputation. Can't keep his family, right? It damaged his sons. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to be able to understand the difference between going through pain and knowing when the pain is not the issue. And when to recognize when it's not the pain, it's not the goals and not where you're going, but maybe it's the time. And I feel like those different levels of understanding help me realize, like, in what areas of my own thinking processes where I'm seeing the severity of like my own mental blocks. And it's satisfying. It's very, very satisfying. So today, right now, I finished being able to do one goal, and like I've been separating some of the lists and stuff like that, and this is the reason why I brought this stuff up, because like I'm just sitting there like working on trying not to beat myself up just because while I'm brainstorming, time is passing by and I'm not coming up with some answers. So like I was able to defeat that, and like now I got some things that are like, it's set up, like the tasks aren't really tasks, these are like objectives, and like I'm really liking the way that it's looking, because now it's a little bit more organized, and I'm about to add in the different areas that I've been trying to achieve, because there's what I've been realizing is like there's a lot of lanes that I'm hitting. There's a lot of lanes. There's a lot of objectives that I'm hitting. Like there's a lot. It's not like hard work 40 hours a week on one thing. It's like 40 hours a week plus another 10 sets of 40 in the same week. And I'm just like, whoa. Cause now it's like I'm getting into like a better decision strategy. And it's like, now it's like I gotta really look at all of those same objectives that are seemingly put together, and like start seeing which ones are incompatible, which ones are conflicting with each other, which ones need to be delayed. And that's going to help me like, and then when I'm going to put it into the map all together, it's going to look real nice. And then I'll be able to do whatever I need to do after that really smoothly. So I got some coffee, and then there was some other thing I want to do today, but that main thing is that. And then I'm going to have to push the reading until later on today. So yeah, we will be back, okay? Good morning, evening, night, whatever day it is for you. I hope you're having a good one. My name is Darrell with TWE brand. I'm a marketing coordinator, freelance. And I wanted to say thank you for being here for the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this. Go to my website. Read. Enjoy the content. And have a good rest of your day. You are amazing. Always remember that, okay? Let's get right into it.